All right.
Yay!
Cool.
Hello world.
Hello, world. Hi.
Hello world.
I wonder how many people are watching us today. Hello. Yeah. Yes. So today we'll be doing the Google Hangout on air. So this time, first time I'm trying this. So bear with us if we fail. So we fail gloriously, hopefully. Anyway, yeah. Hi, my name is Michael. So yeah, we just wait for one more person, Chi Leong. Hopefully, he can join us. Otherwise, we can just carry on first, lah. Yeah. What do you guys think?
That sounds good. Or up to you guys.
I think since it's gonna be recorded, then let's just continue and then.
Okay. Cool.
Or maybe let me just ping Chi Leong and see.
Yeah, Ping Long see if he's joining us or not. He's joining us or not. He's joining us or not. Okay. Okay.
He's not. Let's just start maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Can. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see whether I can do the slides. Play. Customize presenter. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, okay. So let me just get this thing out of the way first. Navigator slightly. Oh, okay, cool. Let me change to. Let me change on my screen. See what I can. Yeah. All right. Can you see this? Oh, okay. That's my application screen.
Yeah.
Slides rather. Oh, okay. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. So today I'll be sharing with us. So today I'm just running a quick volunteers training. So we'll be doing this right now. So my name is Michael. If you don't know yet, that's me. And I run this thing called Engineers.SG. It's basically not-for-profit community initiative. So it's basically our mission is to help document the tech scene in Singapore, lah. So and here we are doing our first recording. This is I started this in 2013, so this is like our first recording ever with one single camera. So that's us. And why did I started this? I started this because essentially I created it to answer the question like where are the engineers in Singapore lah. So I guess we want to seek a place where we get to know and learn about the tech community. And in a way, as I do this, I also learn about how to best record and document meetups. Some of the meetups I recorded in the past. And these are some stats. Currently, we have about 2,000 over videos on the website, 8,000 subscribers on YouTube, and quite a lot of conferences that we recorded. And there's a few other conferences and recordings this year. PHPConf Asia, and so far, I've trained about 50, I think, about 50 volunteers so far. That's a bit, it's about 50 volunteers so far. But active volunteers is about 10 10 of us. That's how our website looks like. Our YouTube channel. Yeah, so essentially the crux of today's talk is about how do we do this, right? So essentially the way that we do this is to streamline our workflow. We want to be able to capture all the inputs, the video, the screen, and audio. So you have not seen our videos that we capture yet. So it looks a lot like the videos that we capture. It basically has all the elements like the video of the presenter and audio of the presenter, as well as a screen capture. So you capture the screen that the presenter is presenting. And with that, you can see what they're you can see what they're presenting, and in high resolution, hopefully. So we capture these things into a laptop via USB. So it's basically send all these sources into a laptop, and they will have all the input sources come in digital form. We use a software video mixer that lets us record and stream and edit the video live. So as we are recording, it actually saves the file in a pre-edited format. So it already has a picture-in-picture or has videos and slides side by side, and the audio is already there inside the thing. So the way that we do it is we do it without any post-production needed. So we don't have to go home and like do a fair bit of like editing and all that stuff lah. Then videos are usually uploaded at the end of the night. So by the next morning, the videos are already available for viewing. So there's minimum, there's no editing involved. There is, and then it goes up to YouTube and then gets viewed by people. Oops, yeah, sorry. I just pressed the wrong button. Yeah, so the way that it usually works is, this is how it roughly usually works. So first of all, we have the presenter's video, presenter's laptop, and that goes into a video splitter. And the video splitter will basically will output a video signal to the projector. And another one, the splitter will basically split the signal into two. One will go to the projector, one will go into our video screen capture tool. Our screen capture tool basically captures whatever the presenter is presenting, their slides, their code demos, or whatever. So that's one thing to do. And that is this device here. It connects to the laptop using USB. Then we have a webcam, and the webcam usually also captures the video of the presenter. And then we have a wireless mic. So that the wireless mic that we use to capture the speaker's voice. And that goes, we could use the webcams or a microphone as well. So in cases where you only have like 2 USB ports on your computer, you can actually use the webcam's audio. But chances are the audio quality on that thing it's not the best thing in the world. So chances are it may not be the best. And because your webcam might be a bit too far from the speaker, so you might not be able to get really good audio. So which is why we use a wireless microphone. And all that goes into the computer using USB. And what we do is that we have a software video mixer that kind of like puts it all together, right? Yeah. So we also put the video through audio processing. So we have a little process thing that kind of compresses that does some audio compression on the audio and evens it out. So basically it's like if it's too soft, you make it a bit louder. If it's too loud, you make it a bit softer to kind of like even it out. We have a automated script that does this, which I can show you guys later. And once that's done, we usually upload it to YouTube, and then it appears on the website. Yep. And when it's on the website, we usually put things like the title, description, and information about the organizer, presenter info, and then we also sometimes put links to the slides, especially if we didn't capture the slides clearly, we can use this. Or some people just prefer to flip through the slides quickly, so we can put the links there as well. And of course, links back to the event page. This is kind of important because we also want to use the videos to kind of like tell the whole world about the meetup that's happening. So people who watch the video can actually link back to the event and even the organizer of the event, and then help and follow them for future meetups. That's usually how we do it. Right. So, and then usually we'll try to get permission from the organizer first. So we'll pick up the stuff and we'll bring them to the meetup place. Let's see. This is some of our teams in action. So yeah, so this is like when we recorded the first event. It was the first conference that we recorded in 2014. This is like a Geek Camp Singapore. Our original video recording was kind of analog, so we used like a VGA port, but we have since moved on to using HDMI. And this is our typical recording session. So we have our equipment in the front, near the presenter and all that stuff. Yeah, so video nowadays we use a webcam. In certain places like conference arena or conference room, like when we're recording a conference, we usually use a more high-res thing like a camcorder like this, a Sony camcorder. Yeah. Yeah. So the screen capture tool that we use is something called AVerMedia Live Gamer Portable, which is a device used mainly for gamers to record their gameplay. So if we're playing games on PS4 or Xbox, you use this to do that, so to capture the gameplay. So we're actually using the same device that we use to capture the presenter's screen. And and we also we do the video mixing using a Windows laptop. Usually it's because Windows laptop tends to have more driver support for these things. Especially for this guy, the Windows driver for this device is actually a lot better. They've come out with version 2 of this. So this is what you see here is the version 1. The version 2 is probably a little bit more expensive and uses USB 3. This one only requires USB 2. And this one goes up to 30 frames per second, whereas I think the version 2 goes up to 60 frames per second. For presentation, it probably doesn't matter because you're just presenting slides, it's fine. Yeah, and this is how it looks like when we use OBS. So it's edited. You can see it all side by side and stuff. Yeah, I'll show you a bit how it looks like later on when we do the setup. And when we do the recording, we usually use like a wireless mic or a condenser microphone. When we first started, we were doing this. We use a condenser microphone like this. So condenser microphone is kind of nice in the sense it captures really good quality audio. But the problem with that is that if you get a presenter that likes to walk around, like in this case, Martin here is sitting in front. So if the condenser mic is just right in front of him, it's fine to capture his voice. But if he starts walking around, then the audio just drops and fades out or whatever. So which isn't very nice. So what we do is nowadays we use a wireless mic, a lapel mic that they wear. Like right now, Martin over here is actually wearing a lapel mic. So that helps us get good quality audio no matter the situation, like where he walks to or stuff like that. Of course, the one that he's wearing right now is a bit expensive, about $800 Sing for that Sennheiser microphone. But I'll show you something else that we have, which is a little bit cheaper. Oh, that's the wrong button again. Where am I? Yes. Yeah, and then this is how that one looks like. Sometimes we also use a sound mixer. You don't always need this. I think in some situations we do need it in certain challenging venues, but we hardly use this anymore right now. Yeah, sometimes we use a backup recording. So sometimes our system is pretty hardy, as in it probably won't break, but occasionally things do fail badly. So like the PC will crash or something. So we try to have a backup sometimes, and audio backup is one of the things we do. We also carry this stuff around using a suitcase. So we do have a lot of suitcases lying around. When we first started, we tried to use a shopping bag to kind of carry it around, but the shopping bag wheels tend to be quite flimsy and breaks. So after 2 times, it kind of breaks down. So we decided to use a proper suitcase to carry it around. Let's see, where are we? Okay, let me try and bring out the slide I was looking for. So what's in our bag right now, right? So in our bag, we have this is the latest one. Let me see where I got the. Yeah. So okay. So in our backpack, this is kind of like the stuff that we have, all laid out. So we have a wireless. We usually have a laptop in our carry bags, and then it has all the things that we need in the carry bag. So carry bag has like the laptop, has our power strip, has tripods, our screen capture tool, and a bunch of HDMI cables, and our audio setup. as well as the webcam over here. Yeah, so this is example one of the sets that we have, which I can show you that right now. Let me try and bring up the camera. Okay, right, so if you look at, I'll just bring and show you this one right now. So right now over here, later on this table is basically all the equipment that we have. So what you saw over there in the previous screen. So we have, again, we have tripod that we use to mount our webcam. So the webcam is usually mounted on this, and you put this right in front of the presenter just to capture the video. So let me just screw this in first. Yeah. So this one is a USB. So the USB basically connects to the laptop, and we also have the HDMI cable. So this is we have two here, one short and one long. The long one is for situations where the presentation is quite far, like the presenter is quite far away from the laptop where you're doing this recording. So this one is usually, the shorter one usually connects to a splitter. So this is how the HDMI splitter looks like. Yeah. So HDMI splitter looks like has one input and two output, right? So the input is usually what we connect to the presenter's laptop. So we have a HDMI cable like this. It connects to the input, and the other side goes to the presenter's laptop. Yeah, and on the end we have two. So one will go, well, usually output one goes to the projector. Output two will go to our screen capture tool. So now in this case, our screen capture tool is this little buddy here. It's called as I said, it's called the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable. It looks something like this, right? In certain, so this one is pretty hardy for gaming stuff. There's actually another device that we're investigating right now. It's called the Fibon 180. So it's actually another device that you can find online. It has a HDMI in and USB 3 out. So this one also captures the video screen, as in the video screen capture. This one costs about 180 US. And this guy costs about 200 plus Sing, which comes out about 100-ish US. So
what's the main
reason
you are investigating the other one? Is that better in terms of quality, or?
Which one, the Fibon or this one?
Yeah, the Fibon.
Fibon is actually more compact. You can see the form factor is a lot more compact.
Right.
And it also does something nice, which is to cleans up the video that comes in, so that you can get a clean video output. So that's what I like about this. It's a lot smaller, quite small form factor, which I really like.
Oh, okay. So the AverMedia video capture actually is not that clean. Is that what you're saying compared to the Fibon?
Yeah. So I would say using the Fibon, and also the Fibon works. The other advantage of the Fibon is that it works on Windows, it works on Macs, and it works on Linux machines.
Right.
Whereas for the AverMedia, it's optimized for Windows only. So if you want to use this run stuff on a Mac, I would recommend getting a Fibon. I'll put a link to the website later on.
Great.
On show notes later on after this.
Right, thanks.
So yeah, so that one is pretty good for you using non-Windows setup. So yeah, so again, so this one, yeah. So from the splitter, so output one goes to the projector, as I said. So output two into the AverMedia. There's input here, and then it has a USB cable that goes to the laptop. Right. So in all our setups, we actually do this thing where we label all our stuff. So you can see that this particular cable itself has a green dot there. And that corresponds to what we have on the laptop, which I'll show you right now. So this is the recording laptop that we use, and you will notice here we actually have a color coding over here as well. So green to plug in the green USB cable like this one, right? So it's green here, can you see this? Yeah, so it's green.
Yeah.
So the green goes into the green port like that. And the webcam, for example, the cable itself, I also label it brown. So the brown one goes into this one, right? So it's easier for volunteers who are joining us for the first time or trying out this, helping us for the first time, and it's very helpful for them to kind of like recognize which ports to connect stuff to, lah. Because when you're stressed out and all that, or doing this for the first time, you might want to having this is helpful for volunteers. So there's one more blue one, which is actually meant for the audio interface. So I'll flip back here right now and show you our stuff. So for audio pickup, we have this thing called the Rode Link. So the Rode Link is like from Rode, because there's a company that makes microphones and all that stuff. So Rode, we got a set. It's called the Rode camera. Oh gee, can't remember what's the name of the thing. But anyway, it's like so what it has is as a transmitter. So this one is for the where you get the speaker to wear this. It's a wireless mic that the speaker wears. Yeah, so here's a lapel mic. So just plug this right in.
Is it called the filmmaker kit?
Yeah, filmmaker kit. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the Rode filmmaker kit. That's the exact thing. So yeah, so it has a transmitter with TX here. So this is what the presenter will wear for speaking. And then we have the receiver, which is over here. So the receiver itself, so the receiver itself has a line out. So that line out goes into our USB sound card. So we're using this thing called the Focusrite. Okay, I don't know if I can see this. Yeah, Focusrite, which is like a audio interface. So it has like, we're a little bit on overkill here, lah. But if you want something simple, you can also use a USB sound card. So this guy for so in the case of a audio jack like this, which you can connect to a simple small USB sound card, lah. So you use the USB sound card, it works fine as well. What I like about this here is that there is a gain control, so you can actually adjust how loud the audio will be, so that you can adjust the volume. Whereas with a USB sound card, it might not have that mechanical thing that you can just turn to increase the volume. So that's that's what we are looking for, lah. Right? So this one connects to the to the laptop via USB. So it has a USB connector here. So if you're using a USB sound card, like small USB sound card, it also basically connects to the laptop through the USB port, lah. So yeah, so that's plugged in. I'm gonna power up. So the one thing I like about the Rode Rode Filmmaker set is that the receiver and transmitter can be powered by USB, by micro USB. So what I'm doing here is that on the receiver side, I'm actually powering it with a USB adapter, lah. The USB adapter doesn't come with the package, but you just buy it off the shelf power adapter, which should work just fine. Okay, so I'm powering it up now, and let me also power up the splitter. So here is the splitter itself. I'm going to connect this to my laptop so you can see whatever I'm presenting later. Yeah. So off screen you will see off screen you actually have a power strip, lah, so that kind of powers everything. Okay. Yeah. So once again, the three things: the webcam, which is right behind me right now. So I show here. There's a webcam that will basically capture the speaker presenting. We have the screen capture tool over here. The screen capture 2 basically captures whatever the presenter is presenting. So this HDMI cable comes from the presenter's laptop into the input, and you have 2 output, one to the screen capture, the other one will be connected to the projector. And of course, the third thing will be the audio interface, where I'll be wearing a wireless mic. The presenter will basically be wearing this wireless mic, just make him wear the thing, right? So once all 3 is up, then you can start the software on the AverMedia. So the other things on the table, which I'm not showing you yet, these are here's a bunch of adapters, which are used for different kinds of situations. The video adapters used for presenters. So for example, if a presenter comes to us and say, hey, I only have a VGA output from his laptop. So we have a VGA to HDMI adapter, which it basically takes this, plugs into the laptop, the other one plugs into our recording system. Yeah. There are also other presenters who may have just a laptop that has a display port like this. So we have a display port to HDMI adapter. Then we have a MacBook. If you have a MacBook Air, or a Surface Pro, we also have a mini display to HDMI. Newer MacBooks, we actually have a USB-C to HDMI, or like if it's at a venue that only have a HDMI to VGA converter, which also is helpful. So there's a bunch of that you see that we bring along with all our meetups. We also have a backup camera. So the backup camera is used to capture the video of the screen and also used to capture the audio. So this serves as a backup. So in case our primary system dies, we can recover the footage from this guy. Yeah? Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So once so everything is just set up here, and on the laptop, all the connectors are connected. So we have the screen capture, the webcam, and then the audio interface. So of course, my receiver needs to be turned on, or rather transmitter needs to be turned on. Press and hold. Yeah, so green light. Okay, so this is on right now. And yeah, so I'll now switch over to the laptop just to show you what's going on in the laptop. Okay, so this is the recording laptop that will be doing the screen capture. So the software we use once again is OBS Studio. So open this up. Right, so this guy is up. You should see it running, and let me just turn on this guy. Okay, so OBS Studio looks like this. It has, so right now it has a splash screen. So in OBS Studio, we set up a couple of scenes. So these different scenes will basically be, we set this up beforehand, right? So let me just plug in the USB port right now to my laptop. Hopefully it will flash. Okay. My laptop, which is on the right of me. So I'll just pretend that I'm doing a presentation, and I'll just flash this guy. So you see right now is actually a screen recording of what is on the presenter's screen on the right, on this one. And then over here in front is the webcam. So it's the other webcam, you see me. Yeah, so, and of course, you can see this green bar is moving. It's because this wireless receiver is what I'll be wearing. Usually, you would basically have this. So you see the green bar moving means you're actually receiving audio signal. So yeah, so let me try and wear this on right now. Okay, so OBS itself is what we use to record all these things. So on the left hand side are the different scenes that we by hand, so I'd rather manually do it. So you can create a new plus, and then you add the different video. So if we're adding a source, you click this plus, just add the video capture, or you'll be added here on the right. So for example, so over here we have three source: webcam, background image, which is what you see here is the Engineers.SG logo. So I can hide, say, the webcam and the screen cap. Is what you see. It's just this is a PNG file. It basically has reference placeholders where you can put your screen capture or something, or the webcam or video. So I can hide this right now. Yeah. So so I've set up a couple of scenes. So the first scene would be the picture-in-picture, and where we have more emphasis on the presenter, and then and one small one for the presenter talking right now, right? So you can see him I'm waving right now, so you can see, yeah. And the different scenes here basically has different sizes. So it's like in this case, maybe the presentation slides are a little bit big. Like say right now the fonts are quite big, so you want to see more of the speaker gesticulating or talking, then you use this. Or if you go into the Q&A kind of session, you can actually use this to kind of like see more of the speaker rather than the presentation slides. In some situations where the presentation is actually showing, like a presenter is showing a 4:3 kind of image, we can use this as well. Or you just want to focus on the screen. So you have like for example, some of these pictures, you want to show just the screen, you can do this. Or video only, so you can see the video only, which is me. Or black, you want to switch to black. Side by side, which has I'm supposed to be like over here, so like side by side. Yeah. Or you can do overlap, like this video is overlapping with the other, or you want overlap in full screen, so it's kind of like but usually the first view should be good enough. Usually with this is pretty good enough for everything. So the start recording, you just click on start recording, and you just start recording the videos into your computer. Let me just show a bit of the settings. Some of the critical things you should set in your screen capture is the video. So first of all, set your video up to the base canvas to 1080p, so 1920 by 1080, so that you either not 920 by 1080 or 1280 by 720, so that's 720p. So usually we'll start first with a 1080p like this, and if you cause the computer to be laggy, then you can change that. You should change that down to a smaller resolution, which is 1280 by 720. But this should be the highest resolution you can go. Next would be the output. Output setting is where we set up the video recording. So by default, it's set to simple. You will switch this to advanced. They can see the settings here. On a Mac, on the Windows, for example, it's important you pick the right encoder. So in this case, I'm choosing QuickSync H264 instead of X. I think by default, it's X264 is selected. That is a software video encoder. So software video encoder tends to take up a lot of CPU. Whereas you switch to QuickSync, which is a hardware which relies on the Intel graphics card's own inbuilt video encoding capabilities, it actually reduces the CPU usage. So it's actually quite good. I recommend using this if you're using Windows. If you're on a Mac, this one you should try to change to the hardware video encoder. There's a one. So again, on the Mac, the X264 is selected by default. So if you're on a Mac, change that to the hardware video encoder, which should also reduce the CPU usage. The reason why I want to reduce the CPU usage is that if the CPU utilization is too high, your video may end up being very jerky, and your audio may get compromised as well. So it's important to select the correct settings for that. And yeah, and then of course where you save the file. So the recording is where we set up. So by default, I think it picks FLV as a file format. I usually change to MP4 so that it's easier to deal with or import and view. Also, another thing I do try to do is generate a file name without spaces. So sometimes you have video encoding, or rather you do some batch scripts in the command line. You has made problems for you. So which we have done. So basically, to generate with a string. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the two key essential thing. If you do live streaming, you also choose this. So this tab here, you can pick like you want to do a stream to a streaming service like Twitch, Facebook Live, or YouTube. You can actually do this all here, lah. Right? For example, YouTube, you just need to put a stream key. I won't go into that right now, but actually that's about it. I won't go into the streaming stuff because that's really not the what this video is about. But if you want to stream, once you set up the streaming capabilities, just click on Start Stream. You should be able to start streaming. So right now I can click on Start Recording. So testing 1, 2, 3. So this is not recording. This okay? Yeah. Hi, hello. So this is actually recording me right now, doing my thing. Yeah. So I'm done. Stop. Then I click on File and Show Recording, and that's where my file will be saved. So this is probably today. Yeah, that's today. So this is actually recording. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so that's the so yeah, so that's it. And so as you're recording this, so click when start recording, you can actually change between the different scenes, and you actually record the different scenes as you record. So if I stop recording and I play back that video, I should be able to see the scene switches when I switch between scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, like right now over here. See? Yeah. So it actually remembers the different scenes. And, yeah. So basically, you're doing live editing, lah. Yeah. So this is the default mode that you get into. There's an advanced mode that you could try also, which is we call it a studio mode. So studio mode shows you on the right hand side over here is the actual thing that's being recorded. On the left hand side is where when you select the different scenes, this is like a staging setup. I want now to transit to this scene. Click on transit. You will then just record this scene, right? This is a bit more advanced, and I would recommend you only do this when you have a bit more experience. But if you're doing this for the first time, I would recommend just changing to remove the studio mode. Yep. Yeah, is it clear so far?
Yep. You mentioned that you sometimes do audio post-processing. So where does this come into play? Okay. Because I see you're recording the audio source directly, right?
Yeah, I'm recording the audio source directly. So let me just switch back to the laptop. Okay. Switch back to the laptop now, and okay. Yeah. Let me share my screen over here. Okay. So if you go to our GitHub, so we have engineers for the win. Yeah. So go to our GitHub page. There's a thing called Git Wiki. So inside here we have a folder called scripts. Yeah, the scripts folder essentially has all the scripts that we use for recording, for doing audio processing. So we have a couple of scripts here. One is multi-norm. Multi-norm.sh basically the normalization and compression of multiple files. So you actually it relies on two things. It relies on FFmpeg as well as another software called SOX. So in order to use this on a Mac, you just need to install these two software using Homebrew. And once you have these two, what it does is that it takes the video file, and then it takes the video file and or rather it points it to basically to multi-norm and the folder name, and it will take all the files inside that folder and kind of like and do the compression on it. It looks like Chi Leong is in. Can we see Shiliang?
Hi.
Yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
Shiliang.
Done.
Hello. Yeah, so right now I'm just going through some of the scripts that I use to kind of like optimize my videos lah. So the first script I use is called multi-norm lah. So this one is actually used to kind of like do audio normalization. So if you record something, an event, and the audio is too soft, you can use this to kind of like adjust the audio level. It's kind of nice. So it basically acts on a folder. So it takes a folder, you give it a folder name, give it a folder name, it will basically run through and kind of like compress or do some audio optimization on all the files inside there. So if you record a meetup and you have multiple speakers, I usually break it down into smaller files, and each of the files put inside one folder, and then this script will basically process all the files inside the folder. There was two other scripts I use. One is split video and trim video. Let me try and see what is this for. Right, so the split video, for example, is actually used to remove a few minutes off the front or the few seconds off the front of a video. So you have a video where maybe you started recording a bit too early, then you can use this kind of like trim off the front part of the video. And then there's another one which is trim video, which actually takes I think it's the first, it takes it removes the tail end of a video. So it's like if you record a bit too much a video towards the end, you can use this to kind of trim off the tail end of the video file. So that thing happens, like 0, and then this is where it stops at. And basically what it does is that it will basically trim off the back part of the video. It's useful if you don't want to use a full-on like video editor to kind of trim stuff. So these are the few scripts I use, a multi-norm, split video, and trim video. So gen thumbs is actually something I use to kind of generate a thumbnail. Like it basically looks at the video and find an exact frame. You basically tell which keyframe you want, like a time code. Time code being like hour, minute, second. So you tell it the time code, you basically capture that into a JPEG or a PNG file. So yeah, some of the scripts that we use. So you can go to that. Our address, this is GitWiki. So if you go inside GitWiki, this is a script that we use to edit our videos. And so inside GitWiki, we also have our background images. So what I showed you earlier, the OBS, for example, the backgrounds. So this background has all the images that we use for those things, like follow us image and PNG, like this one. Yeah, so if this will be helpful for you in constructing your background for the videos, for the OBS videos. I also included, if I'm not wrong, a Keynote file. So we use OBS template Keynote. So this one Keynote file gives you, it is essentially what I use to generate all these things. So like we also have used this in other places, like JSConf, for example. We have some backgrounds that we use there. Yeah, like this. So we actually basically use a Keynote file. All this comes out of the same Keynote file. So the layout is pretty much the same, picture in picture and a few others there. So we can use this as a source, in a video source in OBS for the background, for example. So that's GitWiki. We also have in GitWiki, we also documented the different ways of doing recording. So like if you want to do a basic recording, intermediate with one camera, there's a few other things that we do here. So we can watch this, go through this to kind of see how we evolve into our current day. If you don't want to spend so much on all this equipment that we have, you can look at this and maybe try one of the more entry-level approaches, or not so expensive approaches to this. Yeah. Essentially, that's all I have, I think. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Any questions?
You mentioned you have different setups or different sets of equipment. Like, what are the major differences between those? Is this just like a newer version of a splitter or adapter or something like that?
In Engineers.SG, we have quite like 5 or 6 sets, and as much as I can, I try to use the same equipment. I buy the same equipment for the different sets. Like set 3, set 4, we probably have exactly the same stuff inside. So like we have the Rode Link wireless mic, we have the Focusrite audio interface, and pretty much everything. We try to keep it the same as possible lah. The newer stuff, the newer set that we are buying, we actually try to use the focus. So we try to get the Fibon screen capture tool instead. So yeah, so this is again, our setup is evolving as well. We're trying different things. Like even today, I'm actually trying a different like audio, a cheaper pickup mic. So like what we have here is this thing called the Boya WM4, which is a really much cheaper wireless mic. So compared to the Rode filmmaker set, and this one is huge, right? And this one is really small. Yeah, but the audio quality, if you are listening to this video right now, this basically the audio quality you get lah. And this thing costs, okay, this guy costs about $300 Sing. I think $300-$400 Sing. This one only costs about $90 Sing. It's much cheaper lah. So it's a bit more easier for people who want to do this lah, and probably cheaper for people who want to try to do this.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rode Link and Lazada. It's like 1,007 ringgit, so it's like crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Well, we have our setup has evolved from we tried some expensive things like a Sennheiser. We also actually have a Sennheiser wireless mic as well, which is actually used for mainly for our conference set. So if we talk about difference, we have more kilat and more powerful equipment for our conference recording setup. We also have what we are showing you here today is basically the common set that we use for most of our meetup recordings in Singapore, and we're also evolving and trying out what I call a starter kit. So a starter kit of sorts, which has things like the Boya, which has things like this Fibon, and essentially all that can fit into a small package like this. So essentially what we're trying to do is move everything into, because one of the main complaints that our volunteers have is that to carry that luggage around is kind of like is kind of like inconvenient, right? So if we can shrink it down to a small like little backpack or things you can stuff in the backpack and carry on with you, I think that's possible. I can share a bit of BOM list right now based on our bill of materials list, which actually just includes this guy and this guy, and then the splitter and a few other things which are a lot cheaper. So set costs about $500-$600 Sing, which is a lot cheaper. Yeah, so of course you want to. So the variation is usually in the type of audio interface and audio recording quality that we're going for lah. Yeah, so that's essentially it. Cool.
Right. Since we are also touching on the bill of material and the cost of stuff, I was just wondering whether you can share like how does Engineers Singapore funds all these operations. Like I know that you guys have like a Patreon going on. Like how do you guys support your operation, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. So number one, we have a Patreon page, which we got some money for, and we also do some ads on our YouTube channel, but that doesn't give us much money lah. There's only about $200 every 2 months. The other thing that we do is that actually we charge a small fee for conference recording. So when we do cover conferences, we do charge a small fee, and that money is used to roll into buying new equipment or maintaining our equipment set lah. Yeah, so that's usually how I do it. Of course, the seed money comes out of my own pocket lah. Yeah. So, but after a while, recording conferences and all that stuff, it helps in helps in getting this started. On the side, I also have a conference that I run. The conference is called PHPConf Asia. So from the PHPConf Asia, we also use that. I also use that as a way of like getting using some money from that into buying some of the sets that we have here. Yeah, so that's essentially how it got started.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. Cheng and Sophie, do you guys have any questions? We can't hear you, Cheng.
I think your microphone knocked out.
Yeah, cannot hear you. Still cannot.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Message? Can't hear you, bro.
Can't hear
you. You accidentally mute yourself? No, right? Anyway, maybe you can message us your question.
Yeah.
So, how?
Test.
Okay, got it now. Okay.
Okay. I think I set the threshold too low. Too high, actually, not too low. I think I ran enough quarks, and I actually did some conversation with Michael before. So I think for right now, I think it's for me it should be no problem now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But mainly like working out all the gotchas and stuff, especially when setting up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like we really need to look at how because we mainly tried on Mac OS and it's been giving us so many problems.
Also, I discovered something today. I was recording. The presenter was using a Linux laptop with VLAN. Apparently, VLAN doesn't like cloning. So when he set the screen to clone, the video output doesn't work. So he has to split the screen instead of cloning. So these are all the gotchas that we'll face during recording. So I think somehow I have to keep a knowledge base of this kind of tips and tricks somewhere.
Right. So yeah, about troubleshooting, maybe I can share with you some of the little tips and tricks that I use for troubleshooting, right? So for troubleshooting, you can see my screen. Can you see the screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the things that we do, or rather some of the problems that we usually have encountered with our setup is when presenters switch between when you switch between different presenters, and the first thing that usually craps out on us is the screen. So for example, when we change from presenter A to presenter B, the screen capture tool still freezes on the first speaker's last screen, or another problem that usually happens is when midway through the slide transition, for example, the presenter now is presenting slide number 5 on the screen, but over here our screen capture is we only see slide number 2, so which means usually that's when we know that the AV media has crapped out on us. So the quick way to fix this, if you're on a Windows machine, is to double click on the screen capture tool like this, click on deactivate, and activate again, and that usually reboots the screen capture setup, and that usually helps in getting things restarted. You may lose a few seconds of footage, but as long as you can capture it back, it should be fine. Yeah, so that's the main thing we do for troubleshooting. Restart the screen capture tool. second thing that usually happens is when the audio craps out on us. So we want our volunteers always keep track of this audio bar over here. So green, yellow, red. So make sure your audio level is always in between the green and yellow zone. So right now it's not really in the yellow zone. I can increase the volume a bit. So yeah, from the presenter. So yeah, so as long as it's in the yellow zone, it's okay. So usually what things could go wrong is suddenly the audio just craps out. So if it craps out, we try our best to see what's going on. So what happens is that when the presenter mute on this guy. So if you're using a Rode mic like this, sometimes the presenter accidentally clicks mute on the thing, so we have to unmute it. So that's usually one of the things that happen. Or when the battery runs flat. So sometimes the battery indicator is not there's no audible like indicator that things are going wrong or battery is low. So usually in our set we try to keep like some spare batteries so we can switch it out as we go along, or when things do go wrong. Another thing that could happen is, if audio goes away, you try to pull out and plug back in the audio interface. One other thing to check, which I didn't go through just now. So in the settings page, right? Maybe so what I do is in the audio setup, I usually just pick the actual device I'm recording. Instead of keeping it to default, I'll just pick the actual device instead of using the default. Because if something goes wrong with your default settings, then it's yeah. So I usually just pick the actual device I'm recording from. So that will basically help us in. Yeah, so this guy, and I usually mute the other things like webcam and all the other things. I usually mute them so you don't have any audio coming from those things. You turn on the audio on the webcam as well as the recording device, you may end up having like a echo effect, which you don't want, you see. So yeah. Yeah, so that's essentially some of the key.
Because I think there's a lot of problems we faced when we were trying to set up the splitter to go back to the projector. Well, at least that's what the session that we had tried to record previously is when we tried to connect the source to the splitter and then the splitter back to the projector. The projector doesn't like it. I think. Have you faced any kind of issues like this? Because like from your troubleshooting and from your experience, is that part of the setup pretty stable for you, or it's been flaky or so?
Yeah, it depends on the splitter that you get. Depends on the quality of the splitter that you get. So usually I get this brand. The brand
my review is I actually got this on a recommendation from Michael, and it works afterwards.
Yeah.
Before that, when I try to record Jimmy's event, it's like chaotic. Like just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I took HTTP for granted. Then Michael reminded me of this. Yeah, then I got it and it works.
Okay. All right.
So I will get this specific brand, View HD. You can get this on Amazon. It's a little bit expensive, 40 plus including shipping, but it actually does the trick very, very well. The other thing you could try, he also does the HTTP magic trick that Chi-Leong just mentioned. So with this, you can use this with a normal splitter. But for troubleshooting for splitter, usually what we do is we just power cycle the splitter. We turn off the power on the splitter, and we turn off the power on the splitter, and then we pull out all the things like all the connectors, all the HDMI stuff. We pull it all out and power cycle the thing. Then you plug in one thing at a time, just to kickstart the video. Usually, what the sequence will usually be. The presenter HDMI goes in first, then the projector, then the screen capture. So that usually re-kicks the whole thing, resets the whole thing. So power cycling the splitter is one of the solutions. Another way you could do this is to actually tell the presenter, please use a specific resolution. the recommended resolution I tell presenters to use is 720p. That's a good resolution for like in terms of text being legible, and in terms of support in our recording setup lah. Because there are some presenters whose default resolution is super high, which for some reasons they may not be supported on the projector, or may not be supported on our video capture tool. So we usually tell it, please switch to 720p. That's a good balance of readability of the text as well as support in our video. Yeah, so these are a few tips and tricks you can try. First you try reset the HDMI splitter. If it doesn't work, ask them to change the resolution, or like what Cheng did, to try then on Linux machines when you are doing screen mirroring, it may give you a very unsuitable resolution. So you got to make sure that they set it up. Usually, if you don't mirror it, you can set the resolution independently on the laptop screen as well as the presentation. So that's some of the things that I do. Yeah.
Just to add a bit of my findings, it's actually not necessarily scientific, but it works for me right now. So what I noticed is for the splitter, I normally prefer the number one output to be the projector, and the second one to the capturer. It works for me most of the time. And also, sometimes when you plug in the splitter, be a little bit patient, because there will be a bit of delay before something show up. So don't quickly to unplug it. So just wait a few, like 10 to 20 seconds, something like that. I'm not sure. It just works for me that way.
Yeah, I agree. I've also had the experience where you plug in the thing, it takes like a few seconds for the thing to register that I'm now plugged into this projector or whatever. So it takes a bit of. So another thing you could try to do also is troubleshooting would be to connect the projector directly to the laptop and see whether it goes out to the projector properly. So just to check that your splitter or whatever else is actually working properly. Yeah. There are some situations also where the power supply for the splitter may be a bit wonky. So that if it's the connector to the power supply, if it's a bit loose or whatever, you jiggle it the wrong way, it just cuts off power, which you get the lower quality stuff, it will probably be that. So be careful also how you place all your stuff. So yeah, one thing we have not really talked about is your placement. Where do you put your equipment vis-a-vis the presenter, right? So usually I'll try to put my laptop as close to the front as possible, because the webcam resolution or the range in which is capturing the speaker is actually it's not very good if it's too far. So try to put it as close as possible to the presenter. And then of course, where we put our splitter as close to where the projector connectors are. And so the first thing we try to go there to do is, when we go to a venue, is to figure out where the presenter will stand, where the projector is, where the HDMI connectors are to the projector, and then we figure out how we figure out where to put our equipment. And in terms of angle, usually if it's I try to put the webcam kind of like on the side profile, so you can you're seeing like the side profile of the presenter from the front, so that it's roughly better. If you put and try to keep your webcam away from like the presentation screen, because it kind of like if you have the presentation screen along with your webcam in picture, or rather we have presentation screen and your speaker in the picture, it tends to wash out the whole thing, as in you either can't see the presenter properly or the presentation screen will be too bright. So we try to put our webcam like pointing at the presenter but not at the screen at all. As in the screen is a bit too far off to the corner, so you won't see it. You get what I mean?
Yeah, so like not having the screen as a background for the presenter's video capture, right? Yeah. Yeah,
correct. So that's important to and then of course audio, and what else is there? So when we do the setup at any venue, first thing we try to do is set up our splitter and the presenter's laptop first, so that at least when the presenter knows that his stuff can go to the screen, he'll be less anxious. So then we proceed to set up the rest of our things. So in terms of sequence, we try to set up a splitter, and so that at least the the projection goes well, then we set up our laptop to make sure we can capture it. So chances are, if you go to the projector, it should be safe coming to our system. Yeah, so that's kind of thing that we do. Yeah lah. And you notice that I also have a little setup here. If you look at my camera, if you look at I have this little blue like piece of plastic here. I use this as a kind of like equipment organizer. So there's one Velcros here. So that the Velcros are like kind of like, so I stick some of these pieces to some of the equipment, so I just Velcro it down. So it's kind of nice to kind of like arrange things here like this, so that eventually I can store this in a bag, like in a bag. So I have this translucent bag here that I use to carry this little setup. So yeah, it's kind of like, and you notice if you look at backpack, or if I set up here at the corner there near this mic, you have a bunch of like carriers and bags and stuff. So that's used to arrange and organize your equipment. So that's the usual setup. Yeah, cool. Any questions? Any other questions? All good?
Yeah, well,
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. If you go to the website, you go to our what is it? Yeah. So back to this, right? You go to OBS. There's actually like under, I think, background, you find there's a JSON file. This JSON file is actually the configuration file for our setup lah. But it's only for Windows though. So what you do is that you can drop it into Windows. Let me show you where that is. So you're on Windows machine. Yeah, switch back to this one. So yeah, you were looking at in Windows and you click on File. I think there's a Settings folder. Yeah, so inside here there is it Profile Data? Let me see. No, not Profile Data. Somewhere else. Hang on. Basic. Yeah, Basic and Scenes. Yeah, so you can actually take that file from GitHub and just throw it in here. It should show up as a scene collection over here. Right, so if it appears here as a scene collection, you can then edit it to suit your setup lah. So that's one clue. So because I think it points to our file path for these images. If you drop in that file, you can just double click on this and change to the path of your Engineers.my or something. You can use this to capture to use your background images lah. Was that clear? Okay. Yep. Yeah, so you can use that to get your stuff. Yeah, let's try that. Cool. Wow. Okay. We've been doing well.
1 hour.
Is it 1 hour? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Time flies.
Yeah. Hope this session was helpful and useful. And if you have any other questions, do feel free to ask me now, or can you drop me a mail later or a message later in the Facebook Messenger.
Sure, sure. Let's see. Anyone here? I was just checking whether somebody's watching on YouTube Live.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Only 2 watching. So anyway.
Right. Yeah, I wish you all the best. Do share with me your experiences as well, like anything that you learned during the course of your setting up your setup equipment. Or when Chileong, your sharing just now was quite helpful. Also, I've been doing this for like a couple of years. So there's a lot of this knowledge is kind of stuck in there. I try my best to kind of share, but sometimes nothing compares to just troubleshooting on your own and figuring it out.
You have to learn it the hard way.
Yeah. Oh yes. One other thing that I actually have in the GitHub if you go to the GitHub page, there is actually a section called the guidebook. So the guidebook was something I prepared just for present, so that kind of like tells you what to look out for. Our packing list, stuff that we have in the bag, setup procedure. So it says find a suitable location, take note of where the video cable for the projector is located, take note of where the nearest power socket is located. Does the venue have a table for you to place your equipment? If not, get a stable chair. Set up your power strip so that then you can set up the rest of your equipment on top of around your power strip. Set up a HDMI splitter and HDMI cable so the presenter and organizer can check what's going on. If it's not realistic to keep the splitter on the equipment organizer, just remove it and position it near the speaker and video cable. Place the laptop. Do not switch it on yet. So basically the recording laptop. Put it up somewhere where you're going to be, your table or whatever. Connect the charger and set up the tripod, the webcam. So what I actually have a note on my on the laptop which says do connect all USB before starting computer. Right. So you basically connect all the USB ports before you start the laptop. Yeah. So yeah, connect all the cables, USB cables and stuff. Wireless transmitter. Make sure the lapel mic is turned on. Make sure there's enough power. Start the computer. Then you start the computer and start OBS Studio. And you can usually you have time try to do a capture, so that at least you can figure out whether your screen capture is working properly.
Yeah, sometimes to test for whether the audio is out of sync. That's very useful for it.
Yes. So one of the tricks I do to make sure stuff is still in sync is to just restart OBS. Once in a while, OBS kind of like craps out and just the video is out of sync. So usually what I do then is I just restart it. Another thing is that make sure your audio, you just use this audio use this as mic auxiliary device as the only audio instead of like adding audio one by one over here. You can add the audio device, but I'd rather use the main audio thing. I think in the past what I did was I tried to add the audio as a separate source, which actually caused it to be even more out of sync. Whereas if you switch to using this mic and auxiliary, it usually keeps in sync. But if it does really go really badly out of sync, there is actually a way to fix it. You go to, I think, advanced audio properties, so you can kind of like move the off sync offset. You can actually move this a few times, a few milliseconds. In the past, when I was using an older setup, the older version of OBS had a lot of bad audio sync issues, so I had to like adjust it to quite a few milliseconds away. So that was kind of a pain. But yeah. Right. So that is essentially it. What else is there? Oh, there's actually another document that I have. Let me try and see where I can bring that up. Let me try and bring up the other document. Yeah, okay. So I'll share this link with you guys in a while. And I actually prepared a document for when I was doing Force Asia. And for me, I think somehow seems to be a pretty good thing. Right, let me just show you this. So yeah, this one. I'll share this with you guys. Oops. Where am I? Right. So
Nice.
yeah. So what this is like a volunteer's guide. To start launch OBS. Before you start, help the presenter wear the wireless mic. Help the presenter to connect the laptop. Is the screen capture okay? Is the video feed okay? Is audio level okay? But good to try and basically try to do a recording just to see that everything works out properly. Start recording, click on start recording. It's okay to start a little bit earlier so they capture a few seconds before the start. So it's actually okay to start a bit earlier because I'd rather have some extra footage that I can trim out rather than no footage at all, right? So you notice if you click start, it actually doesn't actually record at that point where you click start. It actually only starts writing to file maybe a split or 1 or 2 split seconds after that. So usually it's okay to start a bit earlier. One other thing I also try to do is that make sure that screen is not the screen that you see in OBS is in sync with what is being presented. So it's always good to be alert lah. Sometimes it freezes up, then it's quite bad.
Yeah, or Mac will just crash.
Crashes, that's unfortunate also lah. So be careful.
But I actually emailed them and they released a patch afterwards.
Really?
So there's a new version for the latest version, 2018. So basically the support is pretty good.
Oh, good. Yeah. The OBS guys, they've been updating the software quite regularly, which is good lah. It's a lot more stable now than when it used to be when I first started, like 2013.
Yeah.
So also another thing I also try to do is look at the file, check that the file size is actually, if the file is actually growing. There were a couple of times where I thought I was recording, but it actually didn't record at all, which is quite scary. Yeah. So after that one time that things failed so badly and miserably, you would click on like file view recordings to kind of like look at the file and then ensure that the file is actually growing as I'm recording. So during the recording, also make sure the presenter is always in view in the video feed. So it's like the webcam. Like right now, when I do this, I'm actually seated down. But sometimes in most situations, the presenter may want to walk around. He may start strolling left and right and stuff like that. So that proves to be challenging. So what you want to do is a presenter as a volunteer, you want to make sure your camera is always on the presenter, and rotate the mic, the webcam, or even reposition the webcam tripod so that you can get a better angle of the presenter. Change scenes properly to focus on the presentation or the speaker. Usually for Q&A, we use the video only scene so that you only see the speaker talking to the people in the audience. In some of our setup, we actually have a separate mic to record the audio of the Q&A. But usually the wireless mic that we have now should be good enough to capture the background audio as well. So that would be good enough for Q&A. So at the end of the presentation, after presentation, and perhaps during the Q&A, do remember after the Q&A, do stop the recording. So basically, we have a separate video for each of the presentation. Why we do this is so that it's easier for you to search for videos and watch videos. Watch different segments of the talk. Like in meetups in Singapore, usually we have two to three speakers. So we just record one video per speaker. So we stop and start in between them. So after the end of the presentation, remember to retrieve the wireless mic. There are some times that the speaker just walks away and forgot to return you the mic. So you just basically have to ensure that they return it to you. And remember to click start recording again before.
I want to add something on the stop. Like there's a buffer period, so if you stop, you actually lose several seconds of depending on your buffer setting, you lose several seconds of the video. So let the speaker finish and like give it like some time before you stop it really, or else you lose that final few seconds of it. Yeah.
So if you look at our setup, right, sometimes we also we have this thing called follow us. So we use this as a closing slide usually. So that will be, kind of add some virality if we need to, but so yes, it's just optional, not always required. Yeah. So what else is there? And where was I? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, okay. Troubleshooting. If the screen freezes, just double click on the screen capture, deactivate, reactivate. Audio is off. Check that the cables are okay. Make sure that the speaker didn't accidentally mute the wireless mic. So that's usually the main reason why things go wrong. Or also the battery level. So if battery dies on the transmitter or receiver, then you have to make sure you just change the batteries. If those situations, those are situations where I really appreciate that we have a backup camera that we have. And this backup camera is actually we use this to point at the presentation slide. At the same time, it also records audio. So if things go wrong, or if our audio goes out or crash or laptop crashes, we can use this to kind of like fill in the gap. that few seconds when things are not in sync or when your laptop crashes, you can use this to kind of like reconstruct the presentation, even pick up the lost few seconds that is in between. This Sony web Handycam is only cost about $200-300 on Lazada, which is it's not very high res, but it's 720p. I actually use this as a primary camera at Rubicon KL. Yeah, so it's actually quite okay lah. It has optical zoom as well, so it's kind of nice. So why I point this at the screen is because the slides are really the thing that we find most important. So we want to that's why we want to record the slides and the audio, of course, on this thing is actually decent. It's not awesome, it's just decent. And yeah, so yeah, that's about it. Yeah, any other questions?
Okay. I don't have any. And guys, if you have any.
I want to add something to the like audio level. Like why is it like you have to keep it in between green and yellow? When you monitor, even though like sometimes when red sounds really good, like because it's very loud, but when you look at the product, the file that you recorded, it might be popping like crazy. Then that the audio is not usable. So when it's red, it's not good news. So try to keep it like upper green and middle yellow is the best. That's the reason. When you monitor, it's very tempting. Like you push it all up and it's very clear for you, and the product isn't. So
yeah,
that's my other tips. Yeah.
So yeah, keep the audio level moderate should be good enough. I agree.
Yeah.
I like that the latest version OBS actually shows you the green bar. So like it now has a color indicator. Last time this thing you never used to be there, right? So the latest version actually has this color indicator and even the decibel level and all that stuff. If it gets a bit too hot, one tip you can try to do is just reduce it. Like over here right now, you can just reduce it over here. Yeah, but usually at maximum should be fine.
Yeah. Lower is fine because you can post process it. But if it's too much, then the audio is destroyed. So yeah.
Correct. So the script that I have usually can fix, like if it's too soft, too loud, we usually can fix it for you, which is kind of nice. One other thing which may not be an option you guys will want to use is that for my volunteers, I actually have a website which I provision for them to upload files. I can do a quick demo of how it looks like. So I actually prepared a website that looks something like, so it's load.engineers.SG. So at the end of the day, my volunteer and they pick the file, pick the event that they're recording, click upload. It will pre-populate with the data for that particular event. And all you do is just browse for the file and upload it. It's a Rails app that I wrote, and it essentially has, it also uses like an Nginx server to kind of like do some stuff. So you can find the source code somewhere here. I think it's ESG servers. So this is the source code for that particular project. Yeah, it has an Ansible script and where you can use to prepare your own application and stuff. Optional, don't have to do this.
We're still small enough, so right now I just give everybody access to the YouTube account. Right now,
yeah,
at least right now because we're still very small.
Yeah. So what I did in the early days was I just grant admin access to all my volunteers, and they essentially can upload the videos on their own to our YouTube channel. So which is kind of helpful.
But so this one is pretty organized when it comes to like more and stuff.
Yeah. So for Force Asia, I think when we did Force Asia, Sophie was there, right? For Force Asia, we actually had a separate website just prepared for Force Asia. It was just like upload of forceasia.engineers.sg or something like that. So and then basically it's a separate site which has even down to the track level uploads. So we can upload a video file targeted at a particular track. That's the kind of customization we can do, but we don't always do it. But as a proof of its effectiveness at Force Asia, we were able to upload like 200 videos in 3 days. Yeah, 4 days. We were able to upload 200 over videos. So again, it was all distributed. All the volunteers were uploading the files on their own. The server side actually runs through the script to normalize the audio and then push the file to YouTube and all that stuff. It's a bit of overkill if you're just running a small outfit, but it would be nice if you do actually grow to that level.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably polish it up and offer it as a service, but let me think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, then.
Thanks so much, Michael.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Thanks
time.
for time. All right.
All right. See you again. Bye.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.